Welcome to the Mark Hope Show, everybody. We are here, and we're a little late, but we are running, so come on in when you're ready.
This late show is brought to you by Denver traffic.
Right.
Our producer got caught in I-25 traffic, and that's what happened.
Yeah. And Tammy's in. Hi, Tammy. Okay, no. Yeah, maybe kill that. Welcome to the Mark Hope Show, everybody.
I'm just trying to get up to where I can see who's coming in.
I know. We're getting there, everybody.
We can't look at that because it lags.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. This is Mark Hope. I'm your host of the show here with Daniel. He's running the board. And we are in 2020.
Welcome to 2020.
We have a brand new year. And we have a great guest to kick off this year's show. And that person is Michael.
How you doing, Mark?
Why don't you introduce yourself, Michael?
My name is Michael Nuanes. I'm a business broker, small business owner, fifth generation Colorado native, and a friend of yours.
Yes, for a long time. This is going to be a good show. I always love having people that I know on this show because I know stuff to ask them.
Yeah, I think that's
things to ask them.
I'm ready for anything.
We'll see how I feel in this new year. But Michael, your primary business is the business brokerage. Why don't you give us what's the website and all that for the business brokerage?
Okay.
BBS.com?
It's DenverBBS.com.
Okay.
Denver, B as in boy, S as in Sam.com.
And that is a business that involves buying and selling other businesses.
That's correct. So I'll give you a little history. I owned a small business that did well, and it was very profitable, and I just couldn't do it anymore. It was just something that was not for me. And so what I ended up doing was I was trying to sell this business to anybody who would take it, anybody who could rub two nickels together and go from there. And what took place is I had a friend of mine who came to me and said, call a business broker. And I said, what's a business broker? I have no idea what a business broker is. And basically what a business broker is a real estate agent for, a real estate agent sells houses. A business broker sells small businesses. So I called a guy, and he showed up, and we started talking for a little bit, and I asked him to sell my business. Ultimately, he did, and I really enjoyed the way he interacted. I really enjoyed what he did, and I told him, I said, I think I can do what you do, and he said, yeah, sure you can. And he kind of, just played me on for a little bit. And I ended up buying another small business, and he called me up one day, 3 months later, and asked me if I was serious about joining him. And I said, absolutely. So long story short, he gave me a few files to work on, and I hit him out of the park, and I fell in love with the business, and it's something that's very, very comfortable for me. I enjoy small business. I enjoy entrepreneurship. I enjoy the act of negotiating with a buyer and a seller to try and get everybody on the same page. Everybody may not get exactly what they want, but you get what you need and you get what you deserve, and the market kind of dictates the value of a particular business. And very, very shortly after joining him, I asked him to be a partner, and he accepted me as a partner, and we have brought that business to the next level, or we've taken it to the next level.
Before we get to talking about the business brokerage that has grown fantastically, let's talk about that first business.
I was a bar owner, a small bar owner on West Colfax, and it was very, very tough at the beginning, and it was a lot of hard work that My boys and I have two young boys, 24 and 21, and they were clearly younger than that back then. But we worked our tails off to get that thing going and up and growing, and it did exceptionally well. It really did. It just
so it was a really challenging environment. Do you want to say the name of the place or no?
Well, yeah, I don't mind. It was called the Dive Bar back then. It has since been renamed, thank goodness.
And it really was a dive.
It was a dive bar. There was no question about that. But it was a fun, comfortable place, atmosphere for everyone. And the other thing is, we added food, we added gaming, we added a lot of different things. So the dive bar name was kind of tongue-in-cheek. And
especially after you improved it, because I was kind of following along.
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of business with the dive bar from Action Computers, which is one of our sponsors of the show.
Yes.
And you were buying all of your computer equipment, and then you bought a whole wall of Macs one time so you could give internet services to the people in the dive bar, which had, after you took the helm, the logo changed, the atmosphere changed, everything got cleaned up. And I liked the dive bar name and logo. It was like an orange arrow and a white arrow, and it was kind of like a 50s kind of a look.
So the look of the logo, I said I want 50s Elvis Vegas.
Right.
And that was the idea, 50s Elvis Vegas. And I had an artist draw it up, and they hit it out of the park first
awesome.
first try. So it was a lot of fun. But
and then karaoke and trivia, things like that. Just kind of polished up everything to where you would like. My wife and I do a lot of residential real estate. Mm-hmm. And whenever we're buying a place for Hope for Homes, we say the same thing of, we wouldn't rent a house that we wouldn't live in. So if it needs something, or it needs to be changed, or a wall needs to be blown out, or the floors need to be redone, or whatever it is, that's our feeling about doing good business, and then attracting really good clients.
Yes.
And demanding good clients. And I think that that's along the line of what you did with the dive bar, is I want to build something that I want my family to hang around and have fun. Right. And then you start attracting those people, and then it raises the whole level of the whole thing up.
Yep. That's a real good point. I think that it was tough, and it was challenging, and it was something that we moved forward with kind of as a family, my boys and I, and we worked our tail off there to make it a nice, enjoyable, and engaging place to everyone there.
Donnie, excuse me. Donnie chimed in and said, "You turned that bar into one of the hottest places to be in Lakewood. Very successful."
That's awesome.
Thanks, Donnie. I appreciate it. I really tried hard.
Yeah, and Daniel, don't hesitate, because my feed is not shifting like yours. So if one of the listeners chimes in, please get it on track.
Right.
I'm not seeing any
I'm
of
keeping
that.
my eyes on all of it.
I see Lindsay Nagney joined. Nagy Ventures. Randy McCorkill's in the house. Pat Sirio's here of K9 University Academy.
Texas
K9
University.
The best dog people ever.
Absolutely. Didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
No, that's all right.
Nicole Hemming, we should get her on. She's got a CBD business. Really? Relax and CBD. That's
nice.
We'll have to get her on. She's good. And you've got that in your story, too.
I do.
So, the dive bar, fabulously successful, and Donnie already outed you. So
thanks, Donnie. Appreciate it.
You have to be humble. But we really don't want people to be humble on this show. When we get you on this show, we want to talk about the small business people and their successes. And you kind of have to brag about some of that stuff, just because that's how the new people learn. And anything that you do in life, especially in small business, and you could tell me what your thinking is about this statement, is if you're not helping other people, you're not succeeding.
Well, I think that's a great point, Mark. And I'll tell you what kind of the secret sauce to my success was. I didn't know anything about small business. I had no idea how to begin. All I knew is I wasn't stupid and I wasn't lazy. And those were the two things that I made it a point to say over and over again. I'm not stupid. I'm not lazy. I'm not lazy. I'm not stupid. So what I ended up doing is, you learn more from your failures than you do your successes. At least I do. So, I stepped on my toes a few times and stubbed them a few times, and I really learned how to be a boss and help people. And I think that was the secret sauce, was empowering employees, finding good employees to keep and make them happy. And I told my employees every time, you're the most important person here, not the customer. Because, quite frankly, the customer isn't always right. I will support my employees to the nth degree. I think if you foster an environment where you encourage them and you empower them, and I said this then and I say this today to my employees now, we pull in one direction and that direction is up. We may have differences personally, we may have differences professionally, but when we're here, we're a team and we pull up. And just because I'm the owner doesn't mean that I didn't clean bathrooms or drop fries in the fryer or pour a drink for somebody or wash dishes. I did what I had to do, and they understood that as the boss, I would be there as their backup in every realm, and I did the best I could, which I think I fostered a real positive environment, and they are the ones who made that place. It wasn't me. My employees are the ones who made, as this caller states, one of the hottest places in Lakewood, and I enjoyed my time there, but it had nothing to do with me. It was truly my employees, and they were fantastic. And in fact, I have one who still works for me, 10 years later, and she's still fantastic.
Well, I think that that's true of all entrepreneurial people. If they're successful, they surround themselves by successful people, and they train them and inspire them to grow. Otherwise, it doesn't last. It's that win-win scenario. If there's an employee that doesn't get to grow, then they leave.
Well, and that's part of the helping. You mentioned helping people. You bring them along with you, and together we grow. Together, whether it's you grow spiritually, emotionally, monetarily, whatever that route we're on, if you help people, I think, if you help people, you get what you give out. So, you do your best to make everybody as happy as you can, but you're not gonna please everybody all of the time. So you do your best, and you take those who are important to you, and friends, family, and obviously your customers, but you try and foster that environment where you're helping and you're making the world a better place. And I think it comes back to you. I really do. I think that it what you give into this world, you get out of it.
I totally believe that.
And and to go back on something I said earlier, you learn more from your failures than you do your successes. And sometimes you need to get knocked down or get knocked around or lose or learn something to get to where you are in the future, or where you are today, because you learn from that.
Absolutely. I mean, that I would, the only thing I would add to that is daily.
Yeah.
You have to make mistakes, especially if you're the leader, because you have to figure out what we're doing next, then you have to do it, and then you have to figure out what is the right way to do it. And then, Daniel, what are the 5 ways that we train people? What are the 5 steps to train someone?
Oh.
I'll put him on the spot.
Yeah, you put him on the spot.
On the air.
Now, the 5 steps of training is tell them how to do it, show them how to do it, ask if they have any questions, have them show you, and then repeat till mastered. And mastered means that they can do it without intervention, without mistakes, most of the time.
But the thing that you have to do is you have to be in charge, and you have to know what's going on. That's why I don't work for corporate America. Mm-hmm. I quit my job as a vice president years and years and years ago to do my own thing, because those assholes, they don't know what's going on. They're in their ivory towers, and they wouldn't know how to make a brake pad if it hit them in the face. And then the chain of command going down, nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
But in my world, I say, look, this is how we do it, and who gets to tell the boss, confront the boss?
Everyone.
Yeah.
At least
I agree.
ask.
Everyone.
I agree.
Why?
Everyone can and ask why and
You have to be able to ask why.
and to take that further, you as the boss, you have to be able to demonstrate your way or the right way or if there is a better way. You have to be humble enough and I guess not hurt your feelings.
You're on the right track.
Where your ego doesn't get involved. Where you say, okay, you know what, we can do that better.
We're going to do it my way, unless you come to me and you show me a better way, and then your way is now going to become our way, and that's my way.
And together
our
we
way
move
is
forward.
my way, and we all do it together. We all do it one way.
Yep.
Whether it's your idea, Daniel's idea, my idea. My idea came from 3 years ago when I was doing this, and things have completely changed. Yep. Let's switch it over. Yep. And that's how you show those employees that you're humble enough to say, hey, look, let's examine everything that I'm doing. Maybe I'm not doing the thing the right way. Let's look at it.
Yep.
What's my reason why? Well, I give a bonus to every single person that works for me. There is nobody that works for me that doesn't get a performance-based bonus. And why is that? Because we all, as you say, pull up.
Yep.
For compensation for all of us.
For us. And you incentivize
if the company does
them.
well, we do well individually.
Yes. And I think that's part of the reason why you incentivize people. You empower them. You give them the ability to make decisions, to fail, to succeed, to learn,
Let's
to
find
grow.
a better way to cut costs.
Yes.
Because that shows up in the bonus too. It can't be just sales.
Right.
It needs to be, hey, we're giving the customers better product. They're saving money. We're buying the product better. We're, displaying the product. We're moving the product through the channel faster. Less hands are touching it.
More efficiency.
Everybody's making money.
And everybody wins. The customers, the employees, the bosses, the owners, whatever. I mean, you have to, it's got to be that, going back to what you said earlier, that win-win situation for everyone.
And the big boss needs to learn how to do everything first.
Without question.
And then, like in Daniel's case, he learned how to do everything behind me, and then he learned the outer part of that shell of how to do the management of the other people, like he just displayed perfectly. Yep. He's teaching them how to train and how to give the feedback and do all that kind of stuff, and then he's training a manager that builds a manager, and all of a sudden it's machines that are building machines.
Yes.
And the whole thing, we call it Action University, right, Daniel?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or whatever company it happens to be that we're working at.
Sure.
Action University, Marketing Hope University, whatever it is, it's a university that's helping people figure out what they're doing because we're all doing it together.
Well, let's try and get a business brokerage services university, you and I.
Well, you're letting out a little bit of a secret because Michael was talking about how Daniel, do you want to throw a phone number up there? How he got into the brokerage business, and I'm thinking I like the brokerage business as well.
It's a very nice career.
And I've been a big real estate guy for a long time, and I'm intrigued. I would love to get Marketing Hope involved in pulling up some of these businesses and then selling them to people and looking out there in the audience of people that want to buy businesses, especially our Mark Hope listeners, our show listeners, because those are side gig type people.
Right.
And if we can give them a university atmosphere at the brokerage to where they could bring their side gigs, there's people there that want to invest, right?
Absolutely. I mean, some people invest time through more of an operations leg. Some people can invest in money, and that's the financial leg.
You have investors that are waiting for new businesses to come along and say, hey, show me what you're doing, and we will team up with you and we will help you be successful.
That's correct. That's correct.
And then sell it later, or buy a different one later,
or hold on to it, or learn what you don't know. Learn how you can move forward in the business that you have at that particular moment, or how to make it better, how to market it to sell, how to get the answers on how to buy. You know, I mean, I think that's a tremendous value. There's a lot of learning and a lot of information that is out there, and some of it you can read in books, but I find you have to put your hands on something.
Absolutely.
You have to get your hands dirty. You have to pinch your fingers. You have to get some blood, some sweat, some tears, and at least for me, that's the way I learned the best.
I've been in the computer business since before the internet. I was one of the first guys that imported IBM 8088 XTs in from Taiwan. That's when I got into the computer business. And yes, Thomas Haynes, I did call you a side gig person. And Thomas is very influential in the Hope Foundation, and he's a big supporter. So he teases back and forth a little bit, but I love you, brother. But I got involved in the computers early on, and I had to learn, how to do all that stuff.
Well, you were in a new technology that at that time was just coming to the consumer.
Yeah.
Just coming to the consumer. The internet, I remember those crazy noises when you were dialing up, and it was just, it took forever.
So Ed Miller chimes in and says, what do you guys know about affiliate marketing? Affiliate marketing. Anything?
Ed, you've got me stumped. Mark?
You know what it is, Daniel. Affiliate marketing is if you're affiliated with the product, like, for instance, John Elway does affiliate marketing with American Financial Mortgage Company, and he represents them, or there's influencers that are affiliated with a brand or a product, and we do a lot of that at Marketing Hope. If you have any questions and you'd like to reach out to us, we'd love to hear from you.
And Donnie Castaneda comes back and said, to tell the truth, I've always said, if there is something or someone that limits your growth, you limit you. The sky's not the limit. Mike is a pillar to our family. Success is a natural part of his repertoire. Very nice.
Thank you, Donnie.
James Stevens says, Action Computers, awesome crew. The guys answered simple questions and are very knowledgeable.
That's awesome.
See, people we're getting in all kinds of different ways.
Action Computers. I started there as a customer.
You did start
2003.
Absolutely. But if somebody wants to join the conversation directly, give us a call. Phone lines are open, 720-507-1939. And ask your questions of Michael. Ask your questions of Michael about any business, anything. I'm sure he'll be able to answer them. But
I'll do my best.
Give us a call.
And we would love the callers to call in. We'd love to have you answer questions. If we can help you, we'd love to help you. And again, that's kind of folding back on what I said was the main thing about being a success in business. And at this point in my career, I get to choose what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And if I don't like it or I'm not having fun with it, I don't do it. I'm in a very enviable position that way. But that's my gauge. Yeah. Am I helping people? If I have the ability to help someone, that's what's fun to me. That's the creative. And money always flows from that.
Yes.
And so I don't really have to worry about making money. All I have to do is worry about, am I being a good steward out there in the community and helping people? Like we're doing a lot of work with the Heritage Christian Center and over in Aurora, and there are tons of people in that congregation that are just great people, and there's a training center over there. They're working with the vets, and when we can have a large impact on large groups of people that are coming up and people that have made it, and there's a lot of hands reaching down and pulling people up, then we know we're really doing something.
Well, I agree with you on that. And I recently met that pastor just in the last week or so, and one of the pastors there, and tremendous fellow who brought levity to the room and was very, very. He had a different way about him, and something that was enviable. As in, he brought, like I said, the levity and the laughter, but there was still that meaning that he was speaking of.
Absolutely.
And he made me laugh quite a few times. So I was fortunate enough to meet him last week.
And when you're dealing with people that are passionate about the things that they're doing, and those people start to get together in groups, then that synergy just builds like a wildfire.
Success breeds success.
It does.
It really does.
And especially if you remember that there's just so many positions on a team. People are good at different things, and if they're all of one purpose, then you've got everybody filling the holes. Right. There was a meme that I saw, and I'll try to find it and put it on the show post. I put it on LinkedIn one time, but it was a picture of this man that was riddled in squares that were taken out of him, and then there was this other man that had no squares except for one, and the one that was riddled with holes was handing that square that would fit right into that place. And then the caption below said father and son. Mm-hmm. So the father was taking all of his squares and making the son. And
trying to make him whole and try to make him learn.
And then the son turns around and does that again for his son. And that's really the immortality that you end up getting if you do it right.
There's different ways to look at family. There's a family you're born into, and then there's a family that you choose. And
absolutely.
And I'm just thinking of one story in particular, but my partner, Greg Sauceville, I don't think two people, he and I, could be any more different. I don't think that two people can come from two different sides of the tracks or life or just our upbringing, but the synergy that he and I have together, we've been together 5 years, never once argued, never once had a discussion or anything that was remotely negative. His strengths are my weaknesses. I believe my strengths are his weaknesses, and together we form a team that is very, very good together. We were successful apart, but when we put those two pieces together, we became better. And we're always looking for people to add to the team. I mean, we built our brokerage firm from one person to two people to three people, and I believe we're probably 7 or 8 now. And we hopefully soon are adding some more pieces of that puzzle. But again, it's more of helping those people so we can help more people.
And that's what I love about the brokerage, and that's I'm going to be hanging around the brokerage more and being more involved with you guys simply because I love the idea of being able to offer my cogs that I can help you guys help other people with. And I know that I'm going to get drawn into some crazy things that you guys are doing.
Sure.
Because, like you said, success begets success. And now all of a sudden, it's like somebody has the cleaning business that they want to sell for whatever reason, they're leaving town, and this other person buys it. And with any other brokerage, you end up with a situation where it's like, hey, we'll buy and we'll sell and we'll do this little thing for you. But at your brokerage, you actually make the sale for the person, take stock in the business and build it up and get it running, and then sell equity shares of that now greater running business to new incoming person that wanted to buy a business but really couldn't afford the whole thing and didn't have the mechanics of the business thing and the books thing and some of the other stuff.
Well, we haven't done that yet, Mark, but that's we're on the cusp. We are on the cusp of doing that.
That's what I'm.
Exactly, and I can tell you we're super excited to have you join us, and I think the synergy that we all bring on something like that is going to be fantastic. I mean,
I just love the idea of helping these people, achieve their dreams.
Yeah,
that's to me that's the biggest thing that you can do. If you're lucky enough in life to be able to do that.
If that's what I do every day, and if I can just tell one story that gets me emotional every time I talk about it. So if I do get emotional, I apologize to our listeners. But I had a gal sit across from me in my conference room about 3 years ago. Maybe it's longer. It might have been 4 or 5. But she was an Ethiopian woman who came to me and she said, Michael, I came to this country, our great United States, and she said, I came here with 2 bags and $40 from a country I didn't understand the language. I didn't know the language. She came through New York, and ultimately ended up in Denver. And
Wow.
she served tea and crumpets to people at the Brown Palace in downtown Denver. She had saved up $300,000 serving tea and crumpets. And she came to me and she said, I need a business. I want the American dream. I want that. And, when somebody sits across from me and tells me that story, I'm telling you right now, she sat across from me and I started crying. I bawled that day. And, that is such a testimony and testament to humans and to the people who come here with nothing. And
what a huge responsibility for you. This woman has all this money that
exactly,
you work for.
Exactly.
Somebody has to
I have to help her.
Right.
I have to help her because if I don't help her, who's gonna be there? And I'm not trying to plug the brokerage service, but we are a cradle to the grave brokerage service. We help with credit card processing, insurance, banking, SBA loans, anything you need, we help. And if I don't know the answer to something, I'll go and find that answer. In small business, I'm not saying I'm a know-it-all, but I have a lot of years doing this and a lot of success, and I know, and I surround myself with successful people
Absolutely.
who have taught me more than I could have ever learned alone. So I have the network, if you will, to have those answers readily available, either in my brain or calling up somebody and
Rolodex, right?
someone I can call and ask. But again, there's such a great responsibility that when I have people sit across from me and I hear that story, this is one woman in particular. I hear that story monthly, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a month, and they come to me and not everybody buys through me or sells through me, but I think that we do a good enough job. When I say we, I mean our firm. We do a good enough job that 80% of our business is repeat and referral, and I think that speaks volumes. And again, you have to take care of those people. If you take care of one, and relationship based, whether or not we sell, buy, help, whatever. If you establish that relationship with them, they're going to send their friends, their neighbors, their family to you. And again, you have to do the right thing. When you have somebody who sits across from you and says, I had $40 and 2 bags, and I have $300,000 right now from serving tea and crumpets.
That's amazing.
That always gets to me. And she's a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful woman. And in fact, I'm selling her business right now because she's got to go back to her home country to take care of her parents. She's truly just a special, special woman.
That's awesome.
And that's not, that's one story. I get this all the time.
We can't plug the business. Or can we?
I think we can. Well, I don't know. You tell me.
No, absolutely. On this show, we help everybody. Well, but I know that in the brokerage thing, sometimes when you're selling something, you don't want to talk about it.
Right. There's some
because there's a transfer or whatever. You don't want to upset the apple cart. But is this one that we could talk about?
I will tell you what we can do.
Okay.
If anybody's interested in this particular store, it's a liquor store in Arvada.
Oh, okay.
There's it's a very nice liquor store. If you're interested in maybe looking at it, give me a call and we can discuss it more. But again, this is just one story of how I try to help people achieve that American dream.
You have a large book of businesses that are always for sale.
Yes.
And if they go to denverbbs.com,
yeah,
and then they go to for sale.
Yes, businesses for sale.
They can look at all of the businesses that are for sale, and they can also look at some of the ones down toward the bottom and see which ones have actually sold.
Yes.
And that's kind of fun for me because I kind of get involved in that, looking at, oh, this was available, I should have got that. I mean, it's hard for me because I'm a business guy.
Right.
And whenever I go on your website, I want to buy all the businesses. And right now I'm not allowed to do anything because my wife said that I have too much going on. And so if I bring home one stray business or puppy or motorcycle
I
or
was
whatever,
just going to say,
in trouble.
it's you've got to do what the wife says.
And
that's for sure.
But the problem is she's right.
Yeah.
You know, I can't get myself overtaxed, but I look at that part of your website and I love visualizing all of those businesses because I'm a kind of a countertop type of a guy. I love the butcher type life. You know, like, here's the bottle of liquor and you give me money and I'm doing something good for you and you're, you know, rewarding me with money. And I love all that. I love those type of businesses, and there's so many of them that you do work with that, you know, like a gas station or...
Well, we sell it all, Mark. I mean, we're generalists. We sell liquor stores, gas stations, dry cleaners, IT companies. I mean, we've sold it all during the last 15, 16 years we've been in business. We sold everything, and you do that not to become an expert. I may be an expert in small business, but you don't know every single nuance and every asset of every particular business. But what you do know is the top line is what it is. You have your expenses, your COGS, or your cost of goods sold, and then you have the bottom line, which is profitability. And some businesses are more profitable than others. Some of them take more work. Some of them take more expertise. Some of them take whatever it is. Sometimes it takes a dream. But I will tell you, on our website, every single one of those businesses has a story. And it may not be the right story for me. It may not be the right story for you. It may not be the right story for Daniel. But you look at the business and you say, I can see myself. I'm going to pick up this and I can make a difference. And I can go take it to that next level. I can do the next thing. And my job is to help you get there. My job is to help you do that. I can't do it for you, but I will help.
We visited enough that I think I can say this, and you're probably going to agree with me. And let me say this correctly, but not all businesses get to be part of the Denver Better Business Services Brokerage inventory.
Right. That's correct.
I mean, and what I'm trying to say is
all.
You sit down with somebody and you say, let's talk about your situation. Let's analyze your books. Let's analyze the business reputation. Let's analyze, whatever it is. And you go through all these processes before you take one of your buying customers and say, hey, look, this is a good business. I'm offering it to you. I've checked it out.
Right.
Sometimes you have to tell a lot of these people, hey, we can't help you.
Another story, and this is a success story on how to do the right thing. About 5 years ago, I had a guy come to me and ask me, hey, sell my liquor store. And I looked at his books, and his books were terrible. They were atrocious. I couldn't do anything with them. And I said, I can't help you. I can't do anything. Well, Michael, what do I need to do to sell this? I said, well, you need to start paying your sales tax. You need to start paying your income tax. You need to clean your books up and not just take that cash out and make it
run it like a real business.
Right, run it like a real business. And he did that for 3 years. We sold it last year. We sold it again. It's a success story. It's that come in, learn, ask questions. How can I help you? How can I get you to that next level? Whether you're starting your first business or 19th business, and I have those folks too. But how can I help you be successful? How can our firm make you successful? Again, I said it before, I can't run it for you, but I can help you get the answers to what you need and how to make yourself better and how to grow, how to bring in better employees, how to get a good insurance agent,
especially in a competitive market like Denver. I mean, you really need to know what you're doing.
Denver's very competitive, and it's a booming economy. Our entire country is booming right now. I think we're on a 12-year run of a great market, and let's face it, we all have a lot of money in this country, and some of us have more, but we all have a lot of money, and again, we're Americans. We want to make that dream. That American dream is have a family, own a house, have a, I don't know, a lot of people I know want to be their own boss. That's their dream. So, that's what we try to do.
Well, it certainly was my dream.
I remember as a kid, my dad was he owned a small business, and I would ask him, why would you do that? Why would you mess with the taxes and just always have to pay the government? And he said, I want to be my own boss. I can't work for anybody else. And I took a different route in the early part of my life, and then in the later part of my life became a small business owner. And I do have one regret, and that's not that's not doing it sooner. And I should have listened to my dad, because he knew what I didn't. And again, that goes back to your failures and your successes, and learning more. Learning more from what we call life. You just learn as you grow up, and you become a better person, and you try to help more people, your kids, your friends, your family, and you do what you can do.
Speaking of helping people, we've got a listener. Oh. Selma. Did you not see that?
I saw it, but I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt. I saw you
What about in today's world, she says, doing business via Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc.?
I will tell you my opinion on that. I think that you have to engage in today's world. You have to engage those avenues to reach more people. I will say this, though. It still comes down to looking at somebody in the eye and shaking their hand and being honest and being genuine and saying, we're here to help you. I can do this, and not tell them a fib, and not tell them, I tell this to everybody, if I'm bringing you dandelions, it's going to be dandelions, period. If it's carnations, it's carnations. If it's roses, it's roses. I'm not gonna fib to you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I can do to help you. And I think that's a great avenue to create more business, to get more exposure. The Instagram or the Facebook or whatever it is. But my personal opinion, and this is just one man's opinion, my personal opinion, it comes down to shaking somebody's hand, looking at them in the eye, and doing what you say you're going to do. Do what you say what you do. And
that translates, and I want to get to Dario in just a quick second, Daniel. I want you to read his comment, but that, just to add on to that, that's about your reputation. Yeah. And at Marketing Hope, we work on businesses' reputations. We do a lot of coaching, we do a lot of business coaching, but we do a lot of setup to where people know, even if they don't get to come and shake your hand, that you're the handshake, look in the eye type person. Because in today's world, and I think that's what she was inferring to, is, hey, how do we do that?
Yep.
And that's about your reputation and reaching out to people and staying in contact, communication. It's all around that, hey, we're good people and we're going to take care of you. Go ahead and read that comment from
Dario.
And Dario, I would love to have him on the show. Dario, you are amazing. He's a Denver engineering student. Oh. And he has started a couple of different businesses, but wildly successful. Great guy.
Yeah. He says, Michael, what are your thoughts on a possible market shift? I ask as a young entrepreneur who was just about to buy my second company. I just sold my first in 2018.
Well, first of all, Dario, if you buy a business and you don't include me as an investor or partner, I'm going to be really mad about it. So I want you to give me a call. You have my phone number. Go ahead, Michael.
Well, I think I'm answering or getting to the bottom of this question, the market shift. I don't know if we're going to have one anytime soon. I mean, we've been on such a ride for such a long time that I think that, again, success begets success, and we're moving in a direction. It may slow, it may chill. Who knows what's going to happen in this election year? But I do believe that we're on such a good pace that I don't see much of a market shift. I really don't. I think that we're going to keep going. That's my gut feeling. Of course, I'm not a soothsayer and I don't have a crystal ball, but that's what I see. And that's one man's opinion.
I'm a soothsayer. I have a crystal ball, and I will tell you the future.
Let's hear it.
Juggernaut that's happening right now is not going to release all of its energy anytime soon.
No,
what is going to happen is things change. You have to reinvent yourself, and you have to just, be a little bit different than, the next guy, so you don't go out of business. And, like all the businesses that I've run over the years, we changed, Daniel, right? I mean, our main thing that we do is change.
Absolutely.
We reinvent ourselves, and, I think that if you're actively as a business person saying, what do my customers need? And then you're shifting from doing canoes to speedboats.
Sure.
You are going to have a successful lifetime boat business.
Yes. And I agree. You have to learn. You have to ask. You have to engage in your customers. You have to look them in the eye and ask them. And the biggest thing to me is you have to be truthful with them. And hey, this isn't working. You've got to change something. What's the answer? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
But that goes
Sometimes
back to your failure
have to,
thing.
Yeah.
You have to fail 80 times, and then you're successful once, and you go to the moon.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
Daniel, go ahead.
That happens all the time.
So Dario's come back and he says, what does anytime soon mean to you? 18 months, 24 months, as far as the market shift
As market shift happening, again, my opinion, I don't see us going south for at least 5 more years. I think we have. This is what I think. I think that the economy is so good, our leadership is so good right now that it's, again, success begets success. I see 6 years. That's what I see. Is it going to cool? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? I think we're always going to go up, but there may be some adjustments and some market adjustments that are coming. You have to roll with them. You have to. You can't spend every dollar you make. You have to put some aside for those times when you are going to fail and you are going to learn to go to the next step.
Well, and to help answer this question, there are people that get trapped in positions. And if you're a listener of this show, you know that we are debt averse in this show.
Yes.
And if you're a business person that takes loads of debt, you are not going to be able to take advantage of situations that are going on. And you're going to have to deal with somebody like me. Because if I own rental houses on your block, I don't owe any money on them. And if the market drops to where they're $1,100 a month for rent instead of $1,500, I drop mine down to $1,000 a month for rent. I get the best renters. I get the highest scores on their income and their credit. I have the very best business that you want to think about, while everyone else is losing all of their rental houses because they have a nut that they have to pay $1,400 a month for. So if you are highly leveraged, you have to worry about the marketplace. And in that market, I'm buying.
Yes.
I'm buying real estate in that market.
And you're picking it up.
Just as soon as the last slump in 2008, I made fabulous money in 2008.
I picked up 4 rentals in 2008.
Absolutely.
4 rental houses, and it was...
I was making money selling used computers to people. Go ahead.
All right, we have somebody calling. You can get it here. Okay. It's from Lamont Pearson. We're going to get him on here in a second here. Okay.
I love the callers. I hate wearing the headphones.
Lamar, you're on the show.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, can I just do a testimony real quick for
please,
Mike
Lamar? Please.
Oh, Lamont.
Hey, I just want to say that when I grow up, I want to be like him. All right.
Oh, Lamont.
I watched him. I watched him grow that business, and it inspires me. He does. He should inspire many. So, yeah.
Lamont, I appreciate you calling into the show, and thank you very much.
Lamont, I love you. Thank you very
His
much.
face went 12 shades
the check's in the
red.
mail. I'll get it to you. The check's in the mail.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Later, brother.
Hey, let me just say something about this young man who just called. I have watched him grow and grow and grow and grow his business. He's got a fantastic plumbing business. Yeah, I'm going to do it right now, whether we can or can't. It's coming.
No, do it for it.
Water containment specialties. Lamont.
No, Water Containment Associates.
Water Containment Associates. Sorry, Water
Lamont,
Containment.
can you tell us a little bit about your business?
Let's hear you. Let's hear you talk, Lamont, because I know you. This kid was a skinny kid way back when. I want to just get this out real quick. Skinny kid when I first met him.
Don't hang up, Lamont.
And don't hang up. He was a skinny little kid who helped me do some plumbing at my house, and I thought to myself, I'm a perfectionist. Everything I do, I try to do to the nth degree. This guy does it to the Z degree. And,
that's awesome.
And he has become a master plumber. He owns his own business. And Water Containment Associates has done my building. And I refer everybody I know that needs a plumber to this young man and his company. He's got some really good employees that work for him. And he, I'm inspired by him. So
that's awesome. We should have him on the show.
He would be great here.
Man,
Hey, Lamont, can you tell us?
Love to come.
Can you tell us? Oh, you got the web. Okay, we got your website up. WCAplumbing.com.
WCA Plumbing at yes.com. I was going to give you the email.
No, that's good. And why don't you tell us what a phone number is if somebody's having a plumbing problem? What's the phone number of your business that they can call?
They can catch me at 720-448-3209.
That's awesome. And of course, if they say they heard it on the Mark Hope Show, they get a little bit of a discount, right?
Yeah, I'll give them a good discount. I give all military firefighters
a
discount. They get 15% right off the top.
That's good.
We
support those who support us. That's awesome.
And he's I've never seen a better plumber. And that's something that's hard to what's
get.
It called, Lamont? I don't know what they're called. Sweat pipe.
Yeah.
When you suck up the. I don't know what it's called.
You talking about soldering the copper?
Soldering, yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, solder.
So, if he had a drip, he would take it apart, sand it down, and redo it. And I said, it's fine. It holds water. He would just.
That's why we have Lamont work on our stuff,
right.
not you.
Hey, Lamont, can you say that phone number again one more time for listeners?
Phone number is 720-448-3209.
Right on, thanks.
And they can get a hold of me 24 hours a day. Any emergencies, I'm getting up and I'm going to do it.
And he's done it. He's done it for me.
That's what we need.
So he will do it for anyone. Hey, Lamont, how many employees have you trained, and how many employees do you have at your company?
Man, I got subs. I got 6 subs. The core members that I've trained from watching them from the root growing. Chad and Armando, you met both of them.
Yes.
And they've just been taking other guys, man, now, and they've been doing and running other crews for me. So, yeah, we're steady growing and getting after it.
Yeah. Well, you've done a great job with your company, and I admire you, Lamont, and again, thank you very much for doing what you've done for me in my houses and in my business. I mean, you've always done a great job. So I'm anxious to have you here.
Michael Mitchison says, "I hate plumbing, so I'd love Lamont."
Somebody's got to do it.
Can we make sure he gets on our preferred list?
Make sure he does.
Lamont, thank you for calling in, and don't be a stranger around the show. We love small business people like you.
And Lamont,
thank
you're
you,
in Denver, right?
And
Yes,
you're in
we're
Denver, Denver Metro?
Yeah. Yep, Denver Metro.
All right, buddy. Thanks for calling into the show.
And I inspire to be like Mike.
There you go.
Just like the old commercial says, I want to be like Mike.
That's a pretty high bar in this case, but that's
Yes, it
good.
is.
I would love to meet you in person,
Lamont.
Lamont. Let's get together.
All right, thanks. Love you, brother.
Hey, thank you. Thank you,
for
Lamont.
calling in, Lamont.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
What a great guy.
Oh, I've known him a long time. I will tell you, I remember him as a skinny little kid, and just how particular he was with every solder, everything I asked him to do. And if it's not, this is the truth, if it's not perfect, it gets redone. It gets ripped out. It gets redone. And, I've referred, I don't know how many people in my life to his company or to him when he was working for a different company. I mean, he owns his own company now, but
absolutely,
that's what happens when you go to school and you become that master plumber, and you take your skills and you teach them again,
let me tell you something.
bringing people up.
Those plumbers are making a lot more money than you and me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Together,
glad.
probably.
And you know what? God bless them, because that's a good thing. I don't want to do that.
Selma is telling a friend right now who is in Denver and has 5 plumbers not fixed the problem in her house.
Oh. Well,
I would love to hear back about the result when Lamont gets a hold of that.
Selma, I don't have Lamont's telephone number, but maybe Daniel can give it to you.
No, she asked for it. He said it on the air a couple times.
Fantastic.
And I threw it in the comments. So
fantastic. Selma, I do encourage you to call Lamont, and I know, again, if it's not perfect, he'll redo
Monday,
it.
call back on the show and let us know how it went.
Yep.
Because, like the brokerage house, we vet all of our people too.
Yep. And again, just as a customer of his for many years, as I've been a customer of yours, the Action Computers does an amazing job for everything I've ever needed from them. Water Containment Associates has done an amazing job for everything I've needed from them. And again, if you're not doing it, I'm not going to say it. You have to do the right thing.
That's what we were talking about before the call. You need to have a good reputation.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times I've made really, really good friends in business with people. And any employee of any business that I own will tell you the same thing about me. And that is, do not make me my business card. If I give somebody my business card, we should have treated them right and taken care of them. And, even then you make a mistake, and the very best mark of a good company is how they handle that.
Right. And nobody's perfect.
I made a mistake, and I'm going to make it right.
Yep.
I'm going to give you another piece of chicken. I mean, how hard is it? You didn't like your first piece of chicken? Let me give you another piece of chicken and try these tater tots and come back.
Yep. And it's truly how you interact and react that makes that. You have to listen to somebody, you have to engage them. And I said earlier that the customer is not always right, and that's the truth. But it doesn't matter. You have to listen to them. You have to see what, and again, see yourself through their shoes.
Wisdom on that?
What's that?
The customer is not always right.
But
the customer is always the customer.
Yes.
Right, Daniel?
That's right.
That is, I've never heard that, but you're absolutely right.
Broken now, so it's not working. So.
The customer, is it really?
Yeah, it's broken. I'll work on it while we're going here, but right now it's got.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But I always have a story when I'm training any manager at any level. I tell them that I want them to act like an Italian restaurant owner. And the visual that I give them is this. I want you to have with an apron and a kind of a white business shirt on, like you've taken to a meeting at the bank and taking your coat off, and you got a smear of pizza sauce on your apron right here that's going down. And where is that guy standing? Up front in the restaurant by the cash register, and he's talking to all the customers.
Oh.
And that's who you need to be successfable. Be making those pizzas, doing the business thing, and interacting with the customers.
And that goes back to looking at somebody in the eye and shaking their hand, saying, "I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna help you. I'm here for you."
I'm back. I'm good. I'm back in.
Welcome back, Daniel.
But Daniel, you remember me telling you that Italian restaurant
absolutely
analogy? That's what it's all about. Are you making the pizza? No. I'm doing good with the business banking, and I'm doing good checking with the customers, but the food sucks.
Yeah.
Because you haven't been in the kitchen, and those jackwads are back there screwing off.
Well,
because the boss never comes in.
And again, that's just it. If you're the boss, you have to clean that bathroom.
Yeah.
You have to cook that pizza. You have to take care of the customer. You have to go to the bank. You have to go to in this particular instance, you have to go to Restaurant Depot and get the right food. And if there's a problem, you take care of it. You take care of it.
So Deidre Ray jumped in on your stream with some information from Lamont, so I'm just transferring that over to the main as well.
Daniel, you're doing a great job. Thank you, as always.
This is a party
if
tonight,
anybody
man.
watches this show when Daniel is traveling with his family or not here, it really sucks. Even when I have my grandson as a co-host, and he's so cute and everyone loves him. It's just we don't have the professionalism that we do when we have Daniel here. So I want to.
It's a lot of fun.
I want to thank him for doing what he does for us. It's a big thing, and he allows us to do all of this crazy stuff that we're doing. But we're hitting that.
It's a really nice setup here. It's fantastic. It's comfortable.
It is.
Yeah.
Well,
Soma says she's going to call tomorrow and she's going to look for Lamont, and hopefully he'll fix her issues there.
For her friend.
I want to hear her story next week.
Right?
Yeah, next week definitely. Let's make sure that we call in Soma, and we want to hear the wonderful job Lamont's doing.
Now, she had a question earlier, and I didn't ask it because everyone was on the phone, but she asked, do you help the kind of people, the ones that are in debt, Mark? She's asking you, do you help people that are in debt, that are struggling to, get debt free so they can participate?
Absolutely, absolutely. I can't take all of the life coaching clients that I would like to take on. A lot of the life coaching people that I do business with, I do pro bono. But then they can take some classes that are cheap from the Marketing Hope University. And yes, in short, yes, we have Facebook groups and we have different things that are helping people, achieve their dreams of independence. And, that's the next thing after you pay your debt off is you get your streams going.
Yeah.
And when you get your streams going and your little business is going, then you have freedom. And when that asshole boss is telling your wife something he shouldn't be telling her, you could say, quit your job, or at least tell that guy he's not allowed to talk to you that way.
Right.
And those are the situations that I like to be involved
Well, there's two things in life, and at least for me, there's that you never have enough of. There's never enough money. There's never enough time. I will take time over money every single time.
Yeah, Daniel,
every single time. Time is more valuable because you can't get it back. I can make more money tomorrow. I can sell 3 businesses tomorrow. I wish, but I can do that. What I can't get back is yesterday. It's gone.
Right? Absolutely. That's an important thing. We were just talking about that earlier today.
Flexibility.
But, what
time.
do you do with the time?
Yeah. Well, you do what you want. That's the beauty.
But,
if you get debt free and you get to that spot where you're not a slave to somebody and you're doing your own thing, you can do whatever you want. Just like you said, don't talk to my wife that way. Don't.
Yep.
I'm not going to be talked to that way. You have that flexibility. You have that freedom, and it is, again, going back to my particular situation was, I worked in the government for a while, and I had to be somebody. I had to answer to somebody.
Yeah.
As a small business owner, I don't. I answer to my customers, of course, but that's out of choice, and that's out of something that I want to do and choose to do.
Till we have a caller.
Just,
Yeah, and I love that. And what I'm suggesting is, some of the truest charity that there is, you write a check for things, great, but when you're hands-on helping people like she was talking about, you make a difference in the world, and I'm telling you, that is good for business. Yeah. I was a poor kid that grew up in Denver, and I ended up being successful, and I trace it all back to those roots of helping people.
Well, you didn't do it alone, though, and nobody does it alone.
No.
You have help at every turn. You have people that assist you, whether they really did something very bad or you wouldn't do it that way. That's still learning. That's still them helping you. I strongly believe that. I had bosses that I loved and bosses that I didn't love so much and bosses that I, quite frankly, couldn't stand. But you learn something from everybody, and you pick what works for you and your style and your demeanor and your comfort level. And is there a right way and a wrong way to do everything? Yeah, I suppose. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just different. And
I agree.
maybe it's just different. And it doesn't work for this guy, but it works for me, or it works for you, or it works for whoever. You have to figure out what, again, this is me. I think you have to get back to how do you encourage, how do you promote your people, empower them to make the right decisions. And if they don't make the right decision, this is another thing that I learned a long time ago, but you criticize in private and you praise in public. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And you support your people. Absolutely. No matter what. You support.
And that goes back to your customer isn't always right. The customer is always the customer. Nobody is allowed to yell at any of my people except me.
Right.
If any customer tries to yell at one of my people, and Daniel could tell you this, I'm the only one in any of my businesses that anyone's allowed to yell at.
Yeah. Truth.
And I would be careful yelling at me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to take a bunch of that.
You don't have to.
My employees say, let me get my manager.
Yeah.
And then that manager says, let me get my manager. And the last bastion of everything is me. And, you know.
You got to take care of
I've
your
had
people.
to fire a couple of customers.
Yeah.
Over 27 years in one of my businesses. That's a pretty good track record.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of times people are just unreasonable and they want to yell. And you have to support your employees. I mean, they're the second set of customers. You said they're more important.
I believe that.
I say the customers that are ringing the cash register are the most important because that's how we all eat.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't take care of my second level customers, my employees, if there's no money coming through the door.
Right.
So we all have to eat.
Right.
But then after that, they're giving me their valuable time and they're trading it for money.
Yep.
So am I giving them fulfillment? Am I giving them purpose? Am I giving them training in addition to the money? That is how I hope to retain
the
very best people that are giving me their most valuable asset, their time.
Yeah.
And, you know, it speaks volumes if you go into a business and the people that have worked there for a long time.
I couldn't agree more because they have trust. They have trust in the leadership, and they have knowledge backing them with years of mistakes, years of successes, years of absorbing everything you have to teach them and what you can learn from them. I mean, it's not just a one-way street. It goes both ways.
And a constant. You know, I wish I was the manager that I was then, that I am now then.
Yes.
But who knows, maybe if I wasn't who I was before, I wouldn't have made the mistakes to get me here. So it's that old time travel quandrum. Maybe I end up being somebody different.
Yep. And we all get to hear from there.
Yeah.
We all get to right here from there. And you have to hurt, you have to fail, you have to learn, you have to cry, you have to be happy, you have to succeed to get to where you are right here. And then where does here lead? It leads to there, tomorrow. And you hope that tomorrow's better than today. That's all you can hope for.
I know it's going to be. I know.
You're a soothsayer. We've established
this. I'm going to be helping somebody do something that I love and that they love. And, you know, if everybody can do that for themselves, then we're going to have a much better world. Yep. You know, and all the people that are out there cracking their nut just to pay their bills, God bless you. I love you. Pay off your debt. Get into a position where you could choose at least, you know, a fraction of what you want to do, and then just keep headed towards that thing that you want to do, because that's the... Go ahead.
Salma chimes in and says, we learn from choices, not with the outcome we wanted, and become more as a result. I like the way that sounds.
Yeah, I do
Absolutely.
too. I like that, Selma.
Yeah, she's always hanging around the show.
Preach it.
I
right.
love her. Yeah, she's a great addition.
Well, it's true. The words. I mean, if you dissect them or decipher them any way she says it, it's all truth. It's all truth.
And there's a reason that, you know, there's greatness, because, you know, if true leaders really care about their people and the people are attracted to that, it creates this thing in different places, on different continents, and on different, you know, It's nothing different. You
Yeah.
keep saying that a thing a certain way, and I say it a certain way, and it always says the same thing. Take care of your people, your customers, and everybody that's involved. And and again, Daniel can tell you, I said I love going to work. Don't do anything that is going to make me not love coming to work.
I love my job too. That's a
Don't
great
screw
thing
it
to
up
say.
for us.
That's a great thing. That's a great place to be, is to love your job. And I mean, I'm passionate about what I do. I mean, I get inspired, like I said, from this gal from Ethiopia. I mean, I tell that story probably a week, once a week to somebody, and I hear it a few times a month from different people. It's inspiring, and you get to help these folks, and it's good to have that. And I'm very fortunate to have that, be in that position where I love my job, I'm passionate about it, and I get something in return.
Well, you almost, if you're in the right place, you almost feel like you're cheating.
Well,
should I be having this much fun, and they're actually going to pay me for this?
I have a man who's very, very special to me, and he was a neighbor. I don't live out there anymore, but he was very, very, very special to me, and we talk all the time, and he would always tell me, if you have a job that you like, you will never work a day in your life. And it's true. I mean, I have a career that I enjoy, that I love, that I give back, and I receive from it. It's a two-way street, but you learn so much from other cultures, other people, other situations, and we're all in this together, and nobody gets out alive.
Yeah.
So you gotta
exactly.
do what you can do while you're here, and I think that's something, and something that you can't escape. Obviously, you can't escape death or taxes, but what you can do is pass your knowledge, your legacy, your failures, and your successes to your successors. I mean, I will tell you, I tell my boys, I've told them this since they were kids. There's 3 words that if their dad asked them, what's their dad about? It's 3 words. Figure it out. Figure it out. I'm not going to be here forever. You're not going to be here forever. That's a fact. You've got to pass on that knowledge, and you've got to pass on the courage to make that mistake, and the courage to accept that success and move forward. But sometimes, not everything is written down, or not everything's in a book. You've got to figure it out. If I spill the water here, I've got to clean it up. I've got to figure it out. It's not going to go away.
The highest compliment that I get from VPs and general managers is when they come up to me and they say, "You know what? I was just doing something. I sounded just like you."
I do like that.
And it warms my heart, because it's like they're taking my beats and using my weapons that I forged out of all my failures, and they're being successful with them, and that to me is a huge compliment.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more, Mark.
Well, Daniel is waving at us right now. We started late and we're over on time, so I think that's going to be a wrap on this episode. But Michael, thank you so much for coming out here with us.
It's been a pleasure, Mark.
And we really hope that you'll be on the show again.
I hope to be invited.
Because I'm sure you've got a bunch more stories about these businesses, and that's what we're all about here on the Mark Hope Show.
Well, if there's anybody who has any questions, give me a ring, shoot me an email.
Absolutely.
I'm here to help. It just, whatever we can do to help.
What's the best way for somebody to get a hold of you?
My phone number is 303-472-3703. 303-472-3703. I'm the only person to ever have that telephone number, so you're going to reach me. The other way is to shoot me an email at Michael, Michael, at denverbbs.com. Michael at denverboyboysam.com. That's the best way.
And as always, we will have all the links to all the sponsors and the guests and everything in the show notes, in the YouTube videos. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and the iTunes and Google Play and all that podcasty stuff. We love making sure you don't miss, as my grandson would say, don't miss one of my podcasts. And we really are doing this for you people out there, and we really appreciate all you guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Mike, thanks for being on the show today. And like Mark said, like and subscribe, and we will be back next Monday at 6:30, traffic permitting.
With some cool stuff.
With some cool stuff. And we'll wait to see you all then, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.